So, dear students, in today's practical, we are going to learn about the Italian courses of menu. But before that, we will have to understand like which all the hotels are there, where fine dining Italian restaurants are there. So, this is the restaurant by the name of Vetro, and it is in the Oberoi Hotel, Mumbai. This is the second hotel by the name of Sorrento. It is in Delhi only in the Shangri-La Hotel. This is the hotel situated in the Delhi. It is this particular restaurant is situated uh, in the Imperial Hotel Delhi only, and the name of this particular restaurant is San Gimignano. This is again a very famous restaurant by the name of La Piazza. It is situated in the Hyatt Regency Delhi. And here again there is an hotel in Delhi by the name of Le Cirque. It is situated in the Leela Palace. And this is again a very fine dining Italian restaurant by the name of El Camino. It is situated in the Taj Hotel, Goa. So after seeing all these slides, one thing is quite very clear, like almost in all the properties of very renowned five-star properties, you would definitely be finding one or the other fine dining Italian restaurants. So that's why it is very important for us also to learn about the Italian courses of menu. So let's start with the Italian courses of menu. So here is an Italian courses of menu. The first course is known as aperitivo. Here in this particular things we are going to discuss in detail, but here in a very short, aperitivo would be considered as a welcome drink. Next is antipasto. Antipasto is an Italian term which is supposed to be used for starter. Next is the primo. Primo to be considered as the first Italian main course. Next is the secondi. It would be considered as the second Italian main course. Next is the dolce. Dolce is a term which is supposed to be used in an Italian cuisine for any dessert or sweet items. And after the dessert, either it is the preference of the guest. The guest can have the cafe where the coffee is supposed to be served, or maybe some of the guests can end up with the digestivo. So here is the first course of an Italian menu, and it is known as aperitivo. As I told you earlier also, in the aperitivo generally we serve the welcome drink, generally the alcoholic one only. And the basic welcome drink that we generally serve here in front of you, there is uh, the first welcome drink which is there in front of you is a kind of an white wine. It is by the name of Prosecco. Next is a Campari, which is a type of an liquor. It is bitter in taste, generally served with an ice only, ice, and sometimes it has been diluted with the soda. And next one is the aromatized wine. And here in the aromatized wines, we have four different varieties of the vermouth. Vermouth is to be considered as aromatized wine. The first one is pronounced as Fothly. Next one is Jagire. Next is Ponthemus, and the last one is Dolin. So this fourthly, Zagire, Ponthemus, Dolin are the brands of vermouth only, where vermouth comes under the category of aromatized wine. We can also serve the liquor by the name of an Campari over the ice along with small amount of an soda, or we can also serve the white wine. So these are some of the basic examples of aperitivo. Next, we are moving to the second course, which is known as antipasto. Antipasto is an Italian term which is used for the starter only. Here, different varieties of the processed meat, like different varieties of the sausages, can be served. Here in front of you, three examples are there. One is salami, second is mortadella, third one is prosciutto. So these salami, mortadella, and prosciutto are an examples of the processed meat or an example of an sausages. In short, you can understand. Next, any different variety of the Italian cheese can also be served. Here, three different varieties has been mentioned in front of you. It is Pecorino, Mozzarella, and Parmigiano Reggiano. Some more examples of the antipasto are: first is the crostini. Crostini would be considered as a small sized opened bread sandwich. Next is bruschetta. It is again an open bread sandwich, slightly large in size. Next one is charcuterie board. In charcuterie board, if you will see, there are different varieties of the cut of salami, mortadella, or any processed cheese. So it will be charcuterie board would be a kind of an board. It would be a kind of an platters where different variety of an cheese along with the different variety of an sausages can be served, or the processed meats can be served. And the fourth one, again very important, it is known as arancini. But this particular arancini is basically made from risotto type of an rice, and that particular risotto rice is basically a type of an rice which is known as arborio. So there is an arborio rice, very small in size, slightly sticky, and we can make the small round ball out of it, which is known as arancini. So now we are moving to the third course of an Italian menu, which is known as primo. Primo is supposed to be considered as the first Italian main course. So there are different things that can be served under the primo. The first is the minestre, minestre and zuppa. These are the two terms which can be used for the soup. So here in the minestre, the examples, three examples have been mentioned. One is the minestrone soup. Next is minestrone soup is basically a thin consistency tomato based soup with different variety or the cut of the vegetables along with the pasta. Generally, the macaroni pasta is supposed to be used. Next is zuppa di funghi. Funghi is a term which is used for the mushroom. So basically, it is the mushroom soup only. Next is zuppa di granchio. Zuppa di granchio. Granchio is a term which is used for the crab. So basically, it is an example of crab soup. The other examples of the primo are risotto. Risotto is a type of an rice. It is a kind of an Italian rice which is basically cooked in the white stock, and it has been continuously cooked in the white stocks in order to get the creamy consistency. Next is the polenta. Polenta is basically a kind of an cornmeal, and it is cooked just like as we cook in our home the porridge only. Next is the casserole. Casserole is a kind of an Italian dish where this particular rectangular shaped dish is to be considered as an casserole. So in the same dish it is basically baked, it is basically cooked, and in the same dish it is to be presented in front of the guest. Next is the gnocchi. Gnocchi is basically a kind of a dumpling which is made with the help of the mashed potatoes and maybe cheese and the cream. And next is a type of an sheeted pasta which is known as lasagne. And this particular lasagne also comes under the primo. Now we are talking about one more type of an examples of the primo, and this example is based on the pasta. Before we actually know the different type of the dish which are based on the pasta, we must be aware about the different shapes of the pasta and their basic name. Along with that, we must also be aware about the different sauces that basically that goes along with the pasta. If you would be knowing the name of the pasta along with the respective sauce, then we can easily be able to combine both of them in order to make any kind of a dish. So the first pasta that you have been finding in front of you is having the shape of a snail, and it is known as chiocciole. It is known as chiocciole. Next is cochlear. Cochlear means it is looking like a shell only. Next is cannelloni. Cannelloni means it is a rolled, it is a sheeted pasta only. Next is farfalle. Next is farfalle. Next is fettuccine. It is fettuccine. And next is fusilli. So again I am repeating. First one is known as chiocciole. Next is cochlear. cannelloni, farfalle, fettuccine, and fusilli. Now let's just move on to knowing the name of some more pasta. First is known as lasagne. It is the sheeted pasta. Next is macaroni. Next is penne, and next is ravioli, spaghetti, and this one is called tagliatelle. This one is here G word is silent. This one is called tagliatelle. G word is silent, so it is tagliatelle. So again I'm repeating lasagne, macaroni, penne, ravioli, spaghetti, tagliatelle. Now let's talk about some of the basic sauces, Italian sauces that generally goes along with the pasta. First one is aglioli. Aglioli means, if we talk about penne aglioli, it means penne cooked in garlic, olive oil and parsley only. So that will be one of the dish, penne aglioli or maybe spaghetti aglioli. Next is Alfredo, which is butter, cream, and freshly grated cheese. Amatriciana, which is again tomato-based sauce, where the bacon, onion, and garlic is also added. Arrabbiata, it is again the tomato-based sauce, very spicy, and here generally we use the red chili peppers. Next is Bolognese. Here this Bolognese is a generally a kind of an Bolognese is a kind of an sauce which is based on the minced mutton or the minced meat only. And in Italian, in some of the cases, the meat or the mutton can be called as ragu. Carbonara, carbonara is again a white, you can say that the sauce, very famous sauce of Italian. Marinara, tomato based sauce. Napolitana, it is again basil tomato based sauce. Pesto, which is again very common and very famous, it is the mixture of oil, pine nut, basils and garlic sauce. Romana is again meat and chicken sauce with chopped mushroom. So like for take simple example, if it is penne in pesto sauce, means penne is a type of an pasta which is cooked in the pesto sauce, and here the description of the pesto sauce and the rest of the sauce has been given. So now move on to the second Italian main course, which is called as secondi. Generally in this particular course, any fish items, any meat items, any chicken items in a very large portion is supposed to be served along with any secondary, uh, means second Italian main course will have to serve a side dish which is known as contorno, and this particular side dish is basically the vegetables. So grilled and the sauté vegetables can be served in a side plate separately along with the secondary. So here the first example is grigliata mista di pesce con verdure. Basically, grigliata means grilled, and mista means mixed. De pesce means seafoods, or it is basically supposed to be used for the fish. So here it is the assorted grilled fish. So the next dish again based on the fish is fish only, and it is known as fileta di banzino in padella. In padella means it is cooked in pan, and banzino. Banzino is the word which is used for sea bass. It is a type of an white fish only, and it is fileta, means fillet, like fillet of sea bass. Basically, it is cooked in the pan. Next is basically a type of an mutton, and it is pronounced as costine. It is costine di agnello. It is here G word is silent, so it is costine di agnello alla griglia. So it is basically costine. Costine means ribs. The agnello. Agnello means the lamb. So it is the ribs of the lamb grilled. Next is fileto. It is fileto al forno in salsa al pepe verde. Pepe verde means it is a kind of green pepper sauce, and here it is fileto Al forno, it means it is the filet or tenderloin. Tenderloin is basically the part of the beef only. So tenderloin is al forno. Al forno means it is roasted and served in green peppercorn sauce. So next is the chicken dish, which is known as petto di pollo. It is petto di pollo ripino di pomodori. So it is basically petto di pollo, means it is the chicken breast ripino di pomodori stuffed with tomatoes. Pomodori means tomato. Ripino means stuffed. Next is petto di pollo con funghi champino. Petto di pollo con funghi champino. Petto means breast di pollo. Pollo means of chicken. So it is chicken breast cooked in mushroom with white sauce. So this I told you earlier also, like whenever we are serving the secondary, like any fish, meat or chicken items, then along with that we'll have to serve the vegetables separately on a side plate. So giving vegetables separately on a side plate, this particular vegetables can be blanched and sauteed, and it is known as contorno. Contorno means side dish, which is basically the vegetables. Now after the secondary, let's just talk about the next course, which is called dolce. Dolce is basically a term which is used for the dessert. So here very famous Italian desserts names are there that you'll have to memorize. One is tiramisu, which is again a kind of an coffee flavored dessert. Panna cotta, which is again cooked cheese. Next is panettone. Panettone is a kind of an bread, sweet bread only, just like your muffins, but slightly bigger in size. Next is Columba Pasquale. This Columba Pasquale is basically a kind of an again a kind of an sweet bread, which is basically like made during or at the time of the Easter's or Christmas. Next is gelato. Gelato is a term which is used for the ice creams. And next one is sorbetto. So gelato, sorbetto, tiramisu, panna cotta, panettone, and it is Columba Pasquale. Now let's gain knowledge about some more Italian dessert. One is called cassata. It is basically again the dessert which is made by using the ice cream and the sponge. Next is mostarda. Why it is called mostarda? Because here almost all the fruits is basically served with mustard based sauce. Next is cannoli. Cannoli is again a kind of an short crust pastry having the stuffing of the cream in between. Next is mille-feuille. Mille-feuille means there are several folds, there are several layers of, and there are several layers of, you can say that, puff pastries. Next is pandoro. Pandoro is again a kind of a sweet bread. Next is tartufo. Tartufo is again a kind of a dessert which is made by making the different mixtures of the ice creams. Why it is called tartufo? Because by look it looks like a mushroom. So next course is called the cafe. Here in the cafe is strong coffee like espresso or maybe macchiato or maybe americano is supposed to be served, where generally we use a very less or maybe no milk at all. Like for take simple example, if you talk about espresso, espresso is just a shot of coffee only. It is just a cup having the coffee concentrate, no milk, nothing. Next is the macchiato. Macchiato is again a shot of a coffee with just one single drop of the froth of the milk. Not too much of a milk, just a single drop of the froth of the milk. So that's why it is called macchiato. Macchiato in an Italian means mark. Likewise, if the guest is going to have americano, americano means black coffee. So generally under the cafe course, the coffee is supposed to be served without adding too much of a milk into it, or you can say that the coffee without milk. So the next course is known as digestivo. Here basically the liquor are supposed to be served. Some of the liquors categories can be Amaro, it can be Grappa, can be Lemosino. As we know, like in Italian cuisine, the vegetables are supposed to be served separately along with the second Italian main course by the name of secondi. But yes, in the Italian menu, you can also have the separate sections for the salad, and which is known as insalata. So here insalata, the melon is there. It is melon-based salad. Insalata al camino is there. It is again arugula-based salad, and insalata criolla is there. It is again a salad which is based on the spinach and the asparagus. So here there are three different examples of the insalata. Insalata is again an Italian term which is used for the salad.